I am Duncan Horne, the Chief English Trainer at Horne Learning Services, and I'm going to share a few things with you today from our business, our company, and that is the 5 key points. You can probably see them in the top corner of the picture, right here in the picture frame. The 5 key points are basically 5 really important things that will further help you to improve in using the English language. So we'll begin with number 1. The number 1 most important thing in learning English is to think in English. The biggest mistake that people make when they are trying to learn English is they will think in their native language, be it Bahasa Melayu or Chinese, Arabic, whatever language it is, and they will directly translate into English. This is guaranteed to fail. Okay, for sure it will fail. You cannot translate from one language to another. So you have to train yourself to think in English and speak in English. That's quite difficult to do, so I'm going to give you 3 things you can do to help. Okay, the first thing is you need to listen to people speaking English. Not just any people speaking English, but people who can speak English very, very well. Preferably people who are natural speakers of English. Okay, the more you listen to them, the better your English will become. You must expose yourself to listening to English. The second little thing you can do is to learn the rules of English. Okay, the English language has rules. It is known as grammar. Okay, the dreaded word grammar. Now, I will not base an entire lesson on learning grammar, but it is important that you get the grasp of grammar and that you learn how to use the English language properly. The third thing you can do to help you think in English is to open your mouth and speak. No matter how difficult it may be, no matter how scared or nervous you may feel, there comes a time where you just have to open your mouth and speak in English. And the more you practice this, the more you try it, the better and stronger you will become. So that is the first key point, is to think in English. Okay, the second key point to learn English is to write sentences. Writing sentences is very important in English. Whenever you learn a new word, you will typically turn to the dictionary, write down what the word means, and stop there. But that is not enough. The next day, or 2 days' time, or in 3 days' time, you will most probably forget what the word means. So you must write sentences. Okay, when you learn a new word, you must write down the meaning, but also put it into a sentence. And by doing this, you will get the power of how to use that word in an everyday sentence. Okay, let's take an example. You learn the word business. Okay, we write down the meaning, what business means, and then we make a sentence. For example, Mr. Tan has a very successful business. Okay, so we have a short example of how to use this word in a sentence. You are much more likely to remember the word and its meaning and its usage by doing this. Key point number 3, you can see in the frame here, is be consistent. Okay? Students who attend my classes, they come once a week. The class is either 90 minutes or 2 hours long. That is not a very long time in 7 days. So to be consistent, firstly, my students are required to attend their class every week. But secondly, and especially for my older adult students, they have to learn English every day. To be consistent means you repeat something again and again and again. So in their case, they must learn English every single day. At least do something. Maybe they will read a newspaper, or perhaps they may speak to one of their friends. They are doing something in English every day. And that kind of leads on to the next point, number 4, which is change of behaviour. You may be familiar with the quote that kind of goes like this: true learning takes place when behaviour changes. Okay, so you must do something different, whether you are learning English, whether you are playing football professionally, or you're going to become a tennis player, whether you're going into metal work or woodwork. If you want to become good at something, you have to change what you're doing. So in English, this could mean you start to buy an English newspaper every day. It could mean you begin watching English movies every night, or watching the news in English. It could also mean you listen to the English radio station when you are driving to work in your car. Perhaps you will start buying English magazines or books, reading 1 or 2 pages every night before you sleep. Writing a diary every day is a great thing to practice your English, and which I require of my students. So you must change what you do. Try something new, try something different. Okay. The final point, key point number 5, to help you learn English better, is a balanced effort. In English there are 4 main areas, that is, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. These are the 4 main areas of English. You must work in all of these areas. You cannot only concentrate on one area, like speaking, and forget the rest. To really improve in English, you have to work in all of these areas and have a balance. This way, it becomes more fun, and it also becomes more efficient. You will learn better and quicker. So these are the 5 key points that we teach. Key point number 1, think in English. Number 2, write sentences. Number 3, be consistent. Number 4, change of behaviour. And number 5, a balanced effort. I hope that you have enjoyed this short video and that you can apply these 5 key points into your learning of the English language. Thank you very much for listening. This is Duncan Horne, the Chief English Trainer of Horne Learning Services. See you next time.